Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you very much for watching my previous videos. Today I'm going to share with you an incident that happened to me about the snakes. So I'm so scared about snakes. Okay, thank you. Here you go. For a long time, I didn't know that I had been sleeping beside a snake. I used to sleep on that bed opposite to my older sister's bed, but grandmother decided I should sleep on the floor instead because I kept turning and tossing while asleep. Still, I did the same thing. I kept tossing and turning until I ended up sleeping under my sister's bed. This was a usual thing to happen, and I was always late for school. My older sister needed to wake up early for she had to walk 3 kilometers from home to high school. Every time she left home, I was still sleeping, but she didn't care anyway. And my grandmother wasn't bothered at all if I went to school or not. She would never wake me up. She said that if I chose not to go to school, then she would be happy to give me some chores like wiping the windows and walls or scrubbing the floor. First, I thought it was a good option because I didn't like going to school anyway, and for me, school was boring. As usual, I ended up sleeping under the bed every morning. One morning, a terrifying thing happened. I was awakened by a hissing sound. I thought I was dreaming, but I was sure my eyes were wide open and the sound continued. I saw this red luggage and I was sure the sound was coming from the inside. When I opened it, the head of the snake popped up and almost bit me. I screamed at the top of my lungs and I accidentally hit my head on the backside of the bed, and I could not exactly remember how I ended up screaming outside the house in pajamas. My screaming alerted the neighbors, and my grandfather calmly explained to them that a Chinese merchant friend gave him the snake for good luck and prosperity, and that he did not realize the snake was getting bigger. He calmly said, "Well, anyway, I will transfer the snake in the storage room downstairs." I was trembling and suddenly my head ached and I had a high fever. Until now, I couldn't even look at pictures of snakes. I would die. When my father learned about this snake incident, he was very angry and he had an argument with my grandmother again. Actually, they always had a fight over me. Many times my father would snatch me and carry me home on his back. The following day, my grandmother would come to our house and took me back. Other incidents like these happened. One Saturday morning, I ran home crying and made sure that my father could see the blood dripping on my face because my older sister pinched me so hard. She was mad that I could not even finish scrubbing the stairways. The coconut husk was too big for my small feet. I could not even move it back and forth with my foot that I had to use my small hands. Another time, she demanded that I should finish scrubbing the stairways, but I was not feeling well that I vomited on the floor that she already scrubbed. This made her very angry and she pulled my hair. I went home crying. My father blamed my grandmother for not protecting me and for not disciplining my older sister. So they argued again, and I was brought back home again. Days after that, my aunt came to the house and talked to my father and succeeded in bringing me back to my grandparents' house. In the previous episode about the incident on the broken gold embroidered plates, I was carried back home by my father and I was taken back to the house again. These scenarios made me so tired and confused that sometimes I thought of running away from anybody else.